Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Quinte West Committee of Adjustment meeting. The committee is made up of 5 members. I'm a public member. My name is Harm Zelstra. I'll be the chair this evening. And on my immediate left is public member Doug Phillips. And on his left is public member Paul Lafferty. And his left, public member David Jesse, and on our far left is Councillor Jim Ellier. On my immediate right is Anne Marie Cunningham, Committee of Adjustment Coordinator, and on her right is Kelly West, Manager of Planning Services. Because this is a hearing under the Planning Act, when the committee gets to the applications for consideration, each application will be brought up in the order listed on the agenda with an opportunity for public input given prior to discussion and consideration by the committee. If you wish to make a comment, please raise your hand to be recognized by the chair. Consent decisions made tonight will have a last day of appeal of January the 2nd, 2026. Minor variance decisions made tonight will have a last day of appeal of December 31st, 2025. If anyone wishes to receive a copy of one of the notices of decision, please use the pad of paper provided by the sign-in sheet to indicate your name, mailing address, or email address and which decision you would like a copy of, and it will be sent to you. If anyone has not signed in on the sign-in sheet, please do so as this is used for the minutes of the meeting. Do I have any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Hearing none. Do I have approval of the agenda? Moved by Paul, seconded by David. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And approval of the minutes of November the 13th, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Jim, second by Doug. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. First application is consent application B3825S. The owners are Kevin and Kim Baum, Cody Baum, and Amy Jones. The agent is Keith Watson. Legal description is part lot 38, concession 7. The address is 195 Smith Road in Sydney Ward. And the purpose of this application is to sever a parcel of land which would create one new developed lot. The severed would have a frontage of 166.1 meters, a depth of 273 meters, and an area of 3.1 hectares. Pardon me. The retained would have a frontage of 136.7 meters, a depth of 276 meters, and total area of 7.62 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Any comments or concerns from the committee members? Hearing none. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
So moved.
Moved by Jim, second by Paul.
Excuse me, Jennifer, weren't you gonna talk about that zoning on that one?
I can.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, because I brought that up to Kelly.
Yep. Jennifer Matthews, Watson Land Surveyors. So yes, I can talk about that. I thought we kind of sorted it out, but I can certainly go through it. The condition, the report was a little bit confusing in one spot. So the rezoning that we're required to do, I'm not sure if you have access to the zoning, but there's a rectangular zone around the wedding venue that is RU 36. So there's a portion of the severed land that is currently RU 36 zone that will have to be rezoned to the straight rural zone so that the severed lot is all one zone.
So let Kelly talk about that.
Section.
Let's see here.
I might have the email if
I've got it right here.
you have it? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, okay.
That explains it very well. I
Yeah.
don't have the visual
She's
here, but
showing
So there's like a small.
Oh, actually, I do have it.
Actually.
It's not the
He's gonna
whole
show it
thing.
to
How come that's not on here?
Yeah, I don't know. Should have
I'm just gonna show
So
our
I
client
think
here as well
we're,
while we're waiting.
We're
been.
good?
Okay, if we don't require the,
Yeah, that's on the conditions, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
if
can
we
take
don't,
that out.
if we don't do that one, we'll do it
Okay.
in a housekeeping just for that
all it
small
is.
All
little
right.
sliver.
And we can just fix it during housekeeping. Maybe just in writing. So that-
Okay, just so you are aware, gentlemen, that part of the conditions, Zone 6 was a zoning bylaw amendment. We're removing that condition, which is condition number 6. So still all in favor? No problems? Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chair, does anybody want to look at this drawing just for clarification on the part that we are going? We will eventually rezone it, we'll just do it through our own housekeeping to make sure that the proposed severed parcel, is severed, right? The
Yes.
proposed severed parcel doesn't have
So it's
any of
just
that
little area
exception.
that I've hatched there.
Okay, just that little part?
Yeah.
Okay, not the big square?
No, no.
So through you, Mr. Chairman, it won't have to come to committee then, planning advisory, or we still has to go through planning advisory?
So the small part will still be, no, it won't have to come at all, right?
No, it'll
It's-
just go through a
it'll
housekeeping.
That's
just
what I
go
thought
through
I understood, but I
housekeeping,
just wanted for clarification on it, yeah.
Yeah, it won't have to, because
Okay.
it will meet the provisions for straight rural.
Okay, well, that'll speed things up a little bit, and you won't have to wait a few months.
Yeah, it is a very small piece that would have to be rezoned,
Yeah.
so that's much appreciated.
Not that we won't deal with it for you, but it's just time consuming.
Yep.
Who moved and
Okay.
seconded that? Sorry. Huh? Who moved
Okay.
and seconded that?
Pardon?
Who moved and seconded that?
Jim and Paul, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we were looking at it. Apologize.
Okay, it's moved and seconded that application B 38-25S by Kevin and Kim Baum, Cody Baum, and Amy Jones to sever a parcel of land at 195 Smith Road, Part Lot 38, Concession 7, in the former township of Sydney is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. One, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Two, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Three, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. Four, that the proponent obtain an access permit for the purposes of civic addressing for the retained lot, and Public Works will waive the fee for the access permit. And five, that a parcel of land measuring 10 meters from the center line of the road along the frontage and severed and retained lands along Smith Road be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city at no cost to the satisfaction of Public Works. And seven, that the existing site plan control agreement be amended or deregistered from the severed parcel to the satisfaction of the city at the applicant's cost. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next application is consent application B 39-25S. Jesse and Anna Maria McDonald are the owners. Keith Watson, agent. Legal description is Part Lot 30, Concession 5. The address is 2105 Wallbridge Loyalist Road in Sydney Ward. And the purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land which would create one new vacant lot. The severed would have a frontage of 45 meters, a depth of 88.3 meters, total area of 0.4 hectares, and the retained would have a frontage of 150.4 meters, a depth of 398.2 meters, and an area of 12.36 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application?
Clarification, on page 2 of the report, it says that the parcel has approximately 195 meters of frontage on the west side of Walbridge Loyalist Road. I think that number, it's either 240 meters along the road, or the actual frontage is 150, so I just wanted to clarify that number.
Did she add them together? I think she added them.
It might just be a typo, but I just noticed it right before, I was gonna talk to you about it before the meeting, but, so I think it's just a typo.
I think she's just added the two numbers together to show the total of the frontage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the total of the severed entertain.
So she's added the 150 and the 45?
Yes.
Okay, I see.
To show the total
Okay,
frontage of
all
the
right.
property.
Perfect, okay, that's clear, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Any concerns from the committee members regarding this application? We did get an email from the golf, or trap shooting?
If
Yeah,
you want a
just-
copy of the letter that just came
They're-
in,
they're
it
not,
doesn't say concerns or anything.
They're not opposing the application, they just want, I guess, notice given to the prospective owners about noise.
Yeah, we can certainly pass this along to our clients, so whoever purchases the lot from them, they can pass this along. It may be one of their family members, so they may be fully aware of what's happening around, but I will make sure they get it.
Okay, thank you. I have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Doug, seconded by David. That application B39-25S by Jesse and Anna Maria McDonald, Keith Watson agent, to sever a parcel of land at 2105 Walbridge Loyalist Road, Part Lot 30, Concession 5, in the former township of Sydney is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. One, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Two, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Three, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. Four, that a parcel or parcels of land measuring 10 meters from the center line of the road along the frontage and severed and retained lands along Walbridge Loyalist Road be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city at no cost to the satisfaction of Public Works. 5, that a zoning bylaw amendment be in effect for the severed lands pursuant to the Planning Act. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next application is consent application B40-25T, Wooler Homes Limited. Legal description is Part 6, Plan 21R 26621. The address is 89 McClellan Avenue in Trenton Ward. And we have a number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 applications requesting a right-of-way. So the purpose of the application is to create a right-of-way for access purposes at the rear of the adjoining properties. Consent applications B40-25T, B41-25T, B42-25T, and B43-25T and 44-25T are being processed concurrently in order to allow all 6 units to have access to their rear yards from Wilkins Street. The subject properties have been developed with a townhouse dwelling containing a total of 6 units on individual lots. The lots were created under consent applications B30-22T to B34-22T. And the purpose of these applications is to establish a right-of-way across the rear yards of the properties for access purposes. The dimensions of the proposed right-of-ways range from 17 square meters to 26 square meters in size. So 89 McClellan is 26 square meters. 87, 85, and 83 are all 18 square meters. And 81 McClellan is 17 square meters, and 79 doesn't need one because it's on the outside. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Hearing none.
I will move as a group, I guess, we'll approve the recommendation for all
Okay.
applications that's here in regards to that, please.
Mr. Chair, I just had one question about the retaining wall, the existing retaining wall. Has the owner been advised, is there any condition that they need to provide a design that doesn't impact that retaining wall? So assuming their new right-of-way is for vehicle traffic, will it be designed to have no impact on that existing retaining wall?
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chair. When the lots were created, it was anticipated that the access to the rear yards would be from the municipal lane that runs behind the property. But when they went to build the townhouse units, they discovered that there was topography issues that created drainage that needed to be addressed. So they built the retaining wall. So each of the property owners owns that retaining wall. It's not a city retaining wall. But the lane is owned and operated by the city. So this will allow them to bring lawnmowers and barbecues and things like that to their rear yards.
No vehicles or anything?
No.
Any other comments from the committee members, concerns?
Okay, so it's moved by Jim. Was there a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
It was moved by Jim, seconded by David. That application B-25T by Willer Homes Limited to create a right-of-way at 89 McClellan Avenue, Part 6, Plan 21R 26621 in the former City of Trenton is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. That a registered survey for the right-of-way be submitted to the city. That a draft transfer for the right-of-way be submitted to the city. 3, that tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. And that approval goes to all the mentioned consents. That's 40,
To 44.
41, B41, B42, B43, and B44. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next application is consent application B45-25M. The owners are James and Catherine St. John. The legal description is Part Lot 10, Concession 6. The address is west of 1074 County Road 5 in Murray Ward. And the purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land which would create one new vacant lot. The severed would have a frontage of 83.1 meters, a depth of 112.01 meters, a total area of 0.9 hectares. The retained would have a frontage of 108 meters, a depth of 400 meters, and total area of 10.7 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Hearing none. Any comments or concerns from the committee members?
Did you want to bring up probably the same thing I'll ask, but I'll let you do it, Doug.
Okay. Has a permit been obtained for entrance?
Through you, Mr. Chair, they did receive a Public Works clearance form from the Public Works Department. They did indicate that an access permit would be required to get an exact location for the access, and they did require the lot grading and drainage plan
Okay,
as a condition.
okay.
Is it concern because of the fire department there?
No,
Or
off
the
off
slope?
road.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
just the access, so there's a safe entrance and
Yeah.
exit kind of thing, and
Yeah.
sight line, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
well, Jim and I, the water too. The drainage is gonna go.
Okay, well, that should be covered in the conditions here, so.
And they were given Kim's letter?
Pardon?
And they were also given Kim Stevens' letter?
Yes, they were, yes. And I spoke to Mr. St. John today, and he indicated he had received that. He's actually working on getting an engineer to design the drainage for that.
Okay, it was
Okay. I'll make a motion to.
moved by Doug, seconded by Jim. That application B 45-25M by James and Catherine St. John to sever a parcel of land west of 1074 County Road 5, Part Lot 10, Concession 6, in a former township of Murray is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. One, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Two, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Three, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. Four, that a zoning bylaw amendment be in effect for the severed and retained lands pursuant to the Planning Act. And five, that the proponent obtain an access permit for the purposes of civic addressing the severed lot. Public Service or Public Works will waive the fee for the access permit. And six, that parcel of land measuring 10 or 13 meters from the center line of County Road 5 along the severed lands be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city at no cost to the satisfaction of Public Works. And seven, that parcels of land measuring 10 meters from the center line of Reed Road along the retained lands be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city at no cost to the satisfaction of Public Works. And eight, that a lot grading and drainage plan for both the severed and retained lots showing a building envelope based on the required setbacks of the zoning bylaw prepared by a professional engineer to be submitted to the satisfaction of the city, and that the applicant enter into an agreement with the city written and registered on title by the city's solicitor at the applicant's cost, addressing the owner's obligation to notify any purchaser of the requirement to comply with the approved lot grading and drainage plan. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
So that'll be right on title, so that drainage gets addressed.
Yeah. Next application is consent application B 47-25S.
46. Don't miss 46.
Pardon me, coming in the wrong order. Application B 46-25S, Pamela Lee Haggerty. Kevin Walsh is the agent. The address is 444 Frankfurt Sterling Road, Part Lot 6, Concession 6, Part 1, Plan 21R-9896 in Sydney Ward. Give a little background here. Please note that a validation of title only ensures that the property can be legally conveyed, but does not mean that the property qualifies for a building permit or any other development. The lawyer is requesting a validation certificate from the city to register on title under Section 57 of the Planning Act. There are no circulation requirements for a validation certificate, nor is there any appeal period. The Planning Act violation stems from a previous owner claiming ownership of parts 1, 2, and 3 on Plan 21R-9896. Part 2 is a road allowance which was never closed and conveyed. A subsequent deed conveyed only parts 1 and 3, and the Land Registry Office deems this is a Planning Act violation due to the previous owner's interest in the road allowance of Part 2. Any further explanation required, Kelly, on this?
Unless you want something.
You don't want to get into it.
I believe that's Mr. Wolf. Is that Mr. Wolf? Oh, is that mine? Okay.
We do get into these situations every once in a while, but I do have a question, though. The road allowance, Part 2, how can that stay as road allowance when you've got property on both sides of the line like that?
So, Mr. Chair, there are hundreds and hundreds of road allowances throughout Quinte West that exist on title, but have never been opened or conveyed by the city. You see a lot of roads that are forced roads that are the really jagged roads. These straight ones tend to be the original road allowances, and when they haven't been actually maintained or opened, then they remain in ownership of the city, and often divide ownership of properties. So quite often when we get applications for severances and you see them severing a lot on the south side of the road and the north side of the road, it's because they originally own that big piece, and the road allowance legally divides it, so then they qualify for a lot on the north side and the south side, or east and west. But there are, actually probably not hundreds, probably thousands of properties that are like that throughout the city that are subdivided by an open road allowance. Property owners can apply to the city to close and convey those road allowances, and it goes through council. But then they have to have the property actually legally appraised and pay the city the cost of the value of the land. And then it becomes part of their property and it merges together. But in this case, the lawyer is saying that that's never happened, so.
Even though the previous owner thought he owned it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
so that's where the Planning Act breach is that a lawyer at one point has made an error and conveyed all three pieces when technically they didn't own part 2.
Okay,
Okay, I
Clear
don't
as
know if
mud.
that helps at all.
yeah, no, it's clear as mud. So application B47-25S is for the other part, which would be,
Yeah, part 1 is 46. And
part 1 and 3, so,
Yeah.
yeah. So you want to do these both together then?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, could I have a mover and seconder to,
Chair, I'll move it, sure. Mr. Chairman.
okay, moved by Jim, seconded by Doug.
Both applications I'll add.
Yes.
For the record.
Yes, both applications. Moved and seconded that application B 47-25S and B 46-25S by Pamela Lee Haggerty, Kevin Walsh, agent, requesting a validation of title certificate for 444 Frankfurt Sterling Road, Part Lot 6, Concession 6, Part 3, and Part 1 in the former Township of Sydney is hereby approved. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next application is minor variance application A14-25S. The owner is the estate of Ermina Milani, Keith Watson agent. Legal description is part lot 14, registered plan 1554. The address is 20 North Elm Drive in Trenton Ward. Give you a little background on this. Earlier this year, the property owner applied for a minor variance A1-25T, which is subsequently approved by the Committee of Adjustment on February 13, 2025. And under that minor variance application A1-25T, the committee approved a 1 meter exterior side yard setback for a detached garage, which was intended to be constructed closer to Nellis Avenue than the existing single detached dwelling. The owner has since determined that they do not intend to proceed with constructing a detached garage and that an attached carport would be preferred. In reviewing the new proposal along with the decision on the minor variance application A1-25T, the staff determined that a new minor variance application was required in order to accurately capture the revised proposal. So the purpose of the application is to permit a reduced exterior side yard setback for the proposed carport of 1.4 meters instead of the required 5.
I move that we proceed with the application.
Any comments or concerns?
I don't know if there's anybody on Zoom, but our client was going to join on Zoom.
Oh,
He is?
yeah,
Okay, so if
just-
there is any questions, I know that John Malani is online there, if there is any.
Yeah, yeah. No, he just come online there now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Any concerns for you?
No concerns at all. Earlier in the year, I applied for a minor variance. Sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Earlier in the year, I applied for minor variance to construct a backyard garage, and it was approved. And subsequently, as I was going through the planning process and construction process, I just had a lot of concerns about the amount of space it would take up in the rear yard. And initially I wanted to build a carport anyways, but I then switched to the garage. And after seeing the final plans for the garage, I thought that a carport would be better suited to the property, and that's the decision I went with. And I went back to the planning department, and they indicated that although the minor variance is similar, I believe, to what was approved for the detached garage, it was still, I need a new minor variance application. So that's why I'm here today to the committee once again asking for approval to construct a attached carport to the side of the house. And I've spoken with the neighbors, several of the neighbors, no concerns. The attached carport will simply cover the existing driveway where the vehicle is already being parked. And it's also my understanding that the city's Public Works Department came by and identified that there was no line of sight, because it is a corner lot, there's no line of sight issues or no other obstructions which would pose any kind of a health or safety issue. So if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay. No, just one comment. The reduced exterior side yard setback for the carport is 1.4, and I believe the other minor variance was for 1 meter. So this is actually an improvement on the distance of the setback, so there should be no reason to deny it.
Thank you.
Yeah, mover or seconder? Moved by Paul, seconded by David. That application A 14-25T by the estate of Marina Milani, Keith Watson, agent, at 20 North Elm Drive, Part Lot 14, registered plan 1554 in the former city of Trenton is hereby approved to permit a reduced exterior side yard setback for the proposed carport of 1.4 meters instead of the required 5 meters. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you. And just one more point I'd like to offer to the committee, just as a reference. The property is currently in my mother's estate, and the application's in my name. As of Monday, the property is being the probate is now complete, and as of Monday, the property is being transferred over in my name. In case there were any concerns as to why the application came through in the estate of my mother's name, it was just a process that we're going through with probate, and that's finally complete. We hope to have that all complete by year end, in case there are any questions about that.
So Kelly is shaking her head that it doesn't matter. So you should be good to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other business to come before this committee?
That one does.
Hearing none.
That one needs your signature.
Got a motion to,
Well, just before we adjourn, I would make that motion, but being this is our last meeting of the year for this committee, I know we still got some business of planning next week or so, but I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year, and prosperous New Year, but healthy mainly, so everybody can survive another year, I guess. So.
yeah, thank you, Jim. Same to you.
I was a little worried last year. Thanks, Jim. Same to you.
And to our audience members, too.